Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kana and you are watching Made by Kana. Today I'm very excited to show everybody how to make these super cute J-Hope Hope on the Stage Acorn charms. I've made the 6 cities that he's been to. Well, as of right now, he's going to perform in LA, so but these are the 6 that he's done so far. Yeah, I'm very excited to make these and show these to Army. I've gotten a lot of orders for them, and then I've also gotten a lot of requests on how to make it. So today I'm gonna show you a video tutorial on how to make your own acorns for your own city that you've been to. So what you need, I'm going to do the brown one today. So what you will need is this. I used acrylic yarn, worsted acrylic yarn, and then this part I used the plush yarn for this part, and then this is some black felt. You'll also need a tapestry needle, and I use a 4mm hook, and you will need some scissors. So let's get started. If you are new to my channel, would love a subscribe, a like to the video. If you're on Instagram, Facebook, please follow me at Made by Kana. If you'd like to support me as a crochet artist, my pattern will be on my Etsy shop, madebycana.etsy.com, and I will link that in the description box. So we will start this acorn with a magic circle, and we're going to do 6 single crochets around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I will note that because this is an amigurumi, like the small charms or plushes, I use the yarn under method, so that the stitches are tighter, and they form this little X shape, and the stitches stack on top of each other really nicely. If you do the typical yarn over, you'll have little V's, and it tends to have more gaps and spaces in between the stitches. So until we do the black portion, I will be doing yarn under, and in the black portion, because of the type of yarn, I will yarn over for that section. So I'm using the tail as my stitch marker. So this was my first stitch, second stitch, and what we're doing is doing 6 increases around in the second round. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the second increase, 5, 6, that's the third increase, 7, 8, that's the fourth increase, and then 9, 10, that's the fifth increase, and then 11, 12. So there's 12 stitches in the second round with 6 increases. Now we're going to do 3 single crochets and an increase. So 1, 2, 3, and an increase. We're going to do this all the way around the third round. 1, 2, 3, and an increase. 1, 2, 3, and an increase. Next, we're going to do 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Then we're going to do an increase. And then we're going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase. Another 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and an increase. And we're going to finish with 2 single crochets. So with this stitch, this piece, the tail as my stitch marker, I just basically flip it back and forth after the end of each round to mark the first stitch. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. We've done 4 rounds. We're on the 5th round, and in the 5th round we will do 5 single crochets and an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an increase. And the last section, last repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an increase. I forgot to mention that this project is worked in continuous rounds, so we don't slip stitch and chain 1 at the end of each round. We continue to work in the round. If you have a preference, like, it's up to you what you want to do. If you have a preference to slip stitch and chain 1, that's up to you, but you will have a seam in the back of the piece of work. One thing I will say though is that when you change colors later, that's where you'll notice the join is a little bit staggered, but I found a little bit of a workaround that allows it to be not so obvious. So it's a little bit slanted. It's not so angular. So we'll do that later. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on our 6th round, and we're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and an increase. And then we're going to do 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an increase. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an increase. Oh. And then 3 single crochets. And that is the end of this round. I'm going to tell my puppy to stop barking at me in a second. But so right now we have 24 stitches. So go ahead this round, the 7th round, we do not do any more increases and just go around and do 24 single crochets, and I will meet you back at the end of the round, and hopefully my dog will stop barking. Last 3 stitches, or last 2 stitches of the 7th round. Now we're going to do that another 3 more times. So basically there's going to be 4 rounds of 24 single crochets. We just did 1 round, and this is the 2nd round of the 24 single crochets. Okay, last 3 stitches, 3, 2, and 1. So 3rd round of 24 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and I will meet you back at the end of this round. 3 stitches, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think we should have 9 rounds right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're gonna do the last round of the brown. Again, 24 stitches. It's a little bit, I don't want to say sad, but I'm going to miss seeing the J-Hope concert clips on TikTok and social media once his concert and his Hope on the Stage tour is over. It's been a lot of fun. I had a lot of ARMY support me and ordered a lot of the Mang covers, and also ARMY who made their own. It was really cool. But all 7 will be back very soon, so that's super exciting. Okay, now this is the end of the 10th round. I'm going to leave that tail inside now. I don't need it. I don't want to use it anymore. So this is the next stitch is the first stitch of the next round. So the next stitch of the next round is right here. We're going to slip stitch into that next first stitch, and we're going to fasten off that, and then we will be joining with our plush yarn. So see, it's a little thicker than the worsted. I contemplated using a different size hook, but when I continued with the 4mm hook, it actually worked out okay, so I'm just going to continue. Now this is the next step that I decided to use in order to have kind of a slanted join instead of a jagged join, because it would do this if you just changed colors normally, but instead we slip stitched into this stitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert the black yarn into the back loop of that last stitch of the last round. So not the slip stitch, but the last single crochet of the last round. We're going to insert the yarn there, just like this. Just pull up a loop, no slip knot or anything. Then we're going to insert the hook into the slip stitch and make our first single crochet. Now if you were able to do the yarn under for the body of the acorn, the top part right now, we're going to do yarn over. It's just in my experience that this type of yarn is very difficult to work with and it sheds. Like this fluffy stuff will pull off and all you're left is the string. Like this. It's super annoying and it bothers me. This is the worst type of yarn to make a magic circle too. So if you've done it, you know it's really annoying. So just make sure you remember that that slip stitch was in the first stitch. So the next stitch is actually right here. And in this round, we're going to do front loops only. So I'm only inserting into the front loop. So that's 2 single crochets. We joined the yarn in the stitch before. I'm going to pull that tight. We joined the yarn here and then we did 2 single crochets. Now we're going to do an invisible decrease, which is a decrease in the front loops only, but I mean regardless, our entire round will be in front loops. Ugh. So then next we will do 4 single crochets front loop only. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an invisible decrease, and then again 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and an invisible decrease, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and an invisible decrease. So you should be left with 2 unworked stitches. One was where you joined in that back loop, and one that's empty. So we're going to do 2 more front loop only single crochets. Ta-da! So it's hard to see, but my first single crochet stitch is right here. I highly recommend using a stitch marker because otherwise you can't see the stitch as well in the back black yarn. I'm using my tail again as my stitch marker. I'm gonna put it to the front. So the second round of the black, we are going to do regular single crochets through both loops, and I apologize if you can't see the details of the black yarn, but hopefully my describing it will be sufficient. So this is the first stitch. We're going to do 3 single crochets, regular single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and an invisible decrease, which is grabbing the front loops only, and then 3 regular single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and an invisible decrease. 1, 2, 3, and an invisible decrease. 1, 2. No, that wasn't right. 2, did I say 2? 1, 2, okay, let's see this again. 1, 2, 3, invisible decrease. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I did it right. 1, 2, 3, invisible decrease. 1, 2, 3, invisible decrease. Sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, invisible decrease. 1, 2, 3, invisible decrease. Okay. That was the second round of the black yarn. I'm going to put the tail onto the other side. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets and a decrease. 1, 2, decrease, invisible decrease. I'm going to just assume, it's assumed that it's an invisible decrease. 1, 2, and a decrease. 1, 2, and an invisible decrease. 1, 2, and an invisible decrease. So at this point, I will stuff the acorn with you right now. I suggest stuffing it at this point. So we get our polyester stuffing and fill it in. I don't usually do this part on the video, but I just want to do it with you and make sure that you stuff it correctly so that you get a nice shape, because some people just push it down, but what you should do is put some stuffing in and then press it to the walls so you have a circle, like a hole in the middle. So this way you guarantee a nice shape. So that's a little tip for you. So stuff it in the middle because you have a hole in the middle, and then kind of push it outwards with your fingers. Okay, I'm gonna leave the last bit of stuffing for the end, and then in this last round it's going to be 1 single crochet and a decrease. Pull my tail back out here, my little handy dandy stitch marker. I use the tails because then I don't have to have an extra piece of supply equipment, because knowing me, I would just lose those little plastic stitch markers. I always have enough yarn, but the stitch markers would disappear on me. So 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. 1 single crochet and 1 decrease. If you've liked my video so far, please like the video. I hope that it will reach more army, because well, it would be just great if you would support me and like my video. Okay, this is the last round. I'm still going to, okay, I'm going to finish this with you, Normally I just say close it up and stitch it, but we're gonna leave a tail about this long, 6 inches, let's say. And then so this yarn, I keep complaining about it because it's just so annoying. This is the last stitch here. Instead of pulling it out as I normally do, because it's so finicky, I'm going to actually thread it through like this way instead of pulling it, because when you pull it, the fluff all just comes off and then it gets stuck. Super annoying. Okay, so this way you don't lose the fluff. Okay, let's finish stuffing this. To however you feel is sufficient. I think that looks super cute. What do you think? Okay, so the top of the acorn should have 8 stitches. 8 remaining stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I always count back from that last stitch so that I know where to insert the first stitch. So we're going to weave this tail from the inside out on the front loops only. Inside out from the front loops only. So that was two stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I have to count because it's very hard to see them. And as I said earlier, this fluff just keeps coming off, so I'll just stuff it back inside. Stuff the fluff back inside. Go in. Okay. Okay. And then you're gonna gently tug this until it's closed. Like so. There should be no more give. That's when you know it's tight. Don't pull too tight and pull it off, because that would be terrible too. I've done that. So just kind of do what I just did and loop it once so it's secure. You don't have to do it too many times because we're going to make the little loop for your keyring. So you can see that the color change. This is where we changed colors. It's not too bad, right? You can barely notice it, so I'm pretty happy with that. But we'll put that as the back, and the front is where you would put the little felt. Okay, kind of hold it and see where the center is. I think it's off center to this side, so I'm going to insert the hook right about here. We're going to insert the hook at the middle, so that the loop is centered. Just eyeball it and make sure it's centered, and then pull, oopsies, pull this out like this and do about 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. And already this is falling apart because the yarn is difficult to work with. Okay. It's so sad looking. It's shedding like crazy. Okay, now again, see where the centers. If it's right in the middle, that's easy. You just poke it right back in the middle. I'm going to put it like about there. So this is our loop to insert the keyring there later. And then just finish off, hide this tail in, try not to pull out the stuffing. And you can kind of shape it better once you're done. Just another little tip, when you put your keyring on or the little chain that goes around it, hang it to determine where the front is. So this is the front. So you make sure you put your the black felt design here. Otherwise, if you put it here, won't be facing. So we're done. If you purchase my pattern on Etsy or Ravelry, in the description, I have a template for you to trace this. But if you're handy, you can freehand that. It's totally up to you. So just want to thank you for joining me today in making this super cute J-Hope, Hope on the Stage Acorn. They're so adorable. So cute, so cute. Make the whole set, make one and give to your friend. And let me know in the comments what you think of the video, and if you've made one, please tag me on your social media because I would love to see your work. All right, thank you so much for crocheting with me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.